Welcome to the toilet theory. Oh, we're recording now. Cool. Welcome to the toilet theory. Sounds like a whole lot of fun, doesn't it? Because what this toilet theory is all about is understanding flow. What better way to understand flow than a toilet, correct? So what we're going to do is get into it. Boom. That's a bit better. Now we've got full screen. Now I can see some faces I recognise. Hello. Right. Okay, let's have some fun. So you're looking up. Do I look like I need to look down, or is it all okay? All good. So we have screen. When you think about work-life balance, how many of your clients, because most of my clients are peak performers, most of my clients that want to understand, they want to push, push, push. But what happens as soon as we push? Where does that energy come from? Where does it go? How do they keep the energy, momentum, the resilience, the resistance to keep moving forward in their world? Therefore, how do you do it for yourselves? You're probably not all working with peak performers. Guess what? You still need to be that peak performer for them. The best version of you for that person is going to get better results. We all know when you get better results, you get better referrals. Better referrals, you can start increasing the prices. When you do that, you get better buy-in, better commitment. Like attracts like, the better quality client, and they keep building up. This is why I'm saying spend more time in yourself than what you would with any other client. Very easy. So, work-life balance. Who thinks that's a good thing? Okay. Deb, I realise you didn't put your hand up because you know this. Work-life balance. Consider this. Okay, I'm not drawing on my wall. I've actually got some really good stuff. It's a whiteboard that comes in a roll and it kind of sticks in the wall, so wherever you go, you're good. Okay, so is that easy enough for you to all see? Do I need to come a bit closer, or are you good? Good? Good. Work, life. Now, if people want work-life balance, what does that imply? It implies 50-50, therefore balance, correct? Great. So if you want to do that, who's willing to do, what are we doing? 8 hour day, 4 hour day, times 7? Would you be happy to do that? Work-life balance is 24 hours in a day. So you're going to be working 12 hours a day for 7 days a week. Who think that is balanced? It's not, is it? So what we want to look at is, let's change the way we think. Let's change the flow of this. Let's change our focus, because I'm sure you don't want to work 7 days a week. Because even if you take out the sleep aspect of it, okay, and then you multiply that by 7 days a week, guess what? You're now working 68 hours. I don't think you really want that. What we want to do is focus on this. Now, 5% in work and 5% in life. That's balanced, isn't it? Think about that. Do you really want that little in each? Because most of our clients imply that 50-50 work-life balance, that's where it is. Oh, it's balanced. But isn't 80% there and 80% in work and life? Isn't that balanced too? Which one do you want? So let's look at filling everything up. So it's 100% work and 100% life. What that actually means is now it's starting to change the way we think about the work, the energy, the focus for ourselves. Who's ever used a business coach or business strategist? Anyone there? Yep, cool. Okay, business coaches, what do they do? It's in the wording, business coaching. All I want to do is get all this energy over here into work. Okay, so what's it intended to do? Make more dollars for you, which is going to pay the business coach. Excellent. It's called marketing. But what happens if you put all your focus on work? What happens over here in life? Business coaches will get you to work harder, longer hours, more structured, more this, more that. Give me more. Bang. Most people crash in their own personal lives. What we want to do is change the focus. So imagine we, instead of putting all the focus in over here, in work, I'm going to put it all over here. So we start focusing on more living, laughing, loving our life. What do you think is going to happen over here? Okay. What's going to happen? I know you can't really hear anything that's going on, so Justine, if there's any comments or anything, just feel free to scream into the computer. That would be awesome. Thank you. So what we want to do, if we get you focused on life, what happens over here in work? Okay. If you're spending more time focusing on doing more and being more and becoming more over in life, what happens? You need to spend less time here to spend more time there, which means you're going to be starting to focus on more effective, more efficient, less time, greater efficiency in here to spend more time over here, correct? It's easy to do when you think about it. Even if you had, for example, you bring in 150,000 a year, change the way we focus about it and go, right, you are paying yourself 150,000 a year to live. So what's happening? You want to spend less and less time in here. Just imagine all the work you do is going to charity. It's worth nothing. That you're paying yourself. When you start thinking about changing the way we approach ourselves as practitioners, as the individuals, that's going to be the difference. Now, how we want to consider this is when life is full, think about your life. When everything's really, when you're happy in your life, when you're healthy, when you're really loved up and you're full of energy and full of confidence, how do you then work? Easier, more effective, more efficient, better connections, better quality. So what we're aiming to do is kind of look at this. Right? So life is now going to start overflowing in towards wealth. So instead of this work-life balance paradigm, we're actually now going to start looking at a flow. Okay? Life is going to start flowing into this. The better you are up here, the more it's going to flow down. The more you invest in yourself, the better everyone becomes. Now, I'm going to break this down even further. One, because I can. And two, because you can't shut me up, because you're all locked in the room and I'm here. Oh, isn't that funny? Unless Justine's going to just delete the recording. Right. All good? Right.
You got sign language.
Oh, we got sign language.
Yep, they're going to be talking in sign.
I think that's thank you, isn't it?
Oh, it's Kath's.
We got a delay as well, so we'll just do this. Right. How good is that? I told you these things are good. One moment. About the middle? Excellent. You'll see that?
Yep. Thumbs up.
Right. Now, demonstration time, my friends. Jug, water. What do you reckon percentage-wise? 70, 80, 85%? Think about this in your world, in your life. Okay? Then there's you as practitioners, being all wonderful, helping this person out. Now what are you left with?
Half.
Half, if you're lucky. So think about that. If you go home to your loved ones and you're at 50%, how many people do you connect with? How many people rely on you? How many people are energized because of you? Okay. I'll use Deb as an example, if that's all right, Deb. You okay? Good. Okay. Deb's got 15 kids.
No, she isn't.
Just kidding. Okay, Deb's got and hubby. So think about it. If you've got 10 people around you that need you, that rely on you, and you're at 50%, what are they getting? On average, they're only going to get 5% of you, correct? Because the more you give to other people, the more you help other people, and go, oh, that's good. I'm helping these people. I feel better because of it. No, you don't. You're going to feel drained. What we're looking at doing is changing this whole paradigm again and filling you up. How many people think, oh, it's not good to be selfish? Okay, we're all in the helping profession, correct? How many people think that's selfish by focusing on yourself? It's not, is it? What's selfish is the fact that 10 people are relying on you and you're only giving them 5%. That's selfish. Why are you holding yourself back from loved ones? Why are you holding yourself back in happiness? Why are you holding yourself back from your kids? Potentially in business as well. Are you doing that same thing? Are you holding back? Now, do you think it would be an advantage if you had to give more to yourself? Do more to yourself. Start.
No, it's on his end.
What's wrong? Oh,
Sorry, you just glitched.
oh, did I? Not that. How was my face this time, Justine?
No, but it was only for a second.
Oh,
And
that's
you were looking forward, shocked at the camera.
oh, really? That's strange for me. Normally, if I do freeze, please feel free. And I do this in my training. If I freeze, just make a stupid face, like, because that's normally how it freezes when I see it. So just make a silly face and I'll know you're frozen. Right. So what we're doing is we want to get you to be able to fill yourself up. Okay. So in filling yourself up, guess what happens? You're going to start to overflow, aren't you? When you overflow, people around you are going to take 100% of your overflow. So you now think about this. You're going to start filling yourself up for you. You go to work for you. Forget about doing it for the clients. Okay? Go to work for you. Spend time with the kids for you. Spend time with hubby or wife for you. Spend time with the dog for you. Go and have catch up and have a coffee with the friends for you. Because when you're doing it for you, you're more likely to fill this up. Then it overflows. And now we're going to start looking at how we fill ourselves up. When you think about life, what is the end result in life? What are most people aiming for? Can I jump in and answer for you? Happiness, correct? Who agrees? Okay, so happiness is really what we're after. But I work with some incredible athletes. I'll mention one who is a mixed martial artist, currently over in the States, in Vegas, doing some fights, the big cage fights. When I win the world title, I'm going to be happy. When I win the world title, I'll find love. When I win the world title, I'll find wealth. I went, who are you without the world title? And all of a sudden, it suddenly realised, that's probably not the right focus. So what we're looking at doing is changing the focus. So who he is in the world when he wins the world title is the person. I don't work with the athlete to make them a better athlete. I work with the person who competes better because they're more focused on being the better person. When you do that, it takes all the pressure off and they'll perform better. So what we're looking for, if most people want happiness at the end, but it's quite simple. I'll just ask you the question. What is happiness? What does it look like? How does it feel? How can you measure happiness? Isn't that interesting that most people just sit there and go, if that's the thing we're aiming for, how do we know we get it? How do we know we're on track if we don't know what it looks like and feels like and how we can measure it? So isn't that so vague that we're going, oh, this is the ultimate for us, but we don't know what it looks like and feels like? How does that work when we have goal setting? How are you meant to focus if that's the end result? What are you meant to do to get there? Most people don't know what it looks like or feels like. So imagine we put happiness first. Think about this. Happiness. Simple. So, jug. Who here has been to a wedding where you see a stack of champagne floats? Where do they pour the champagne? Up the top. It overflows to the next level. Overflows, overflows. See, the thing is, most people, and especially in our profession, because I've been around it in 18 years, guess what? Most people are inverted. There's spending too much time trying to fill everyone else up, trying to fill everyone else's cup, trying to fill everyone else with their energy and go, oh, I feel great. No, you don't. You'll feel tired, you'll feel exhausted, and you feel like you're not getting anything from it. And if you're getting your feel good based on what your clients are feeling back, great. But I can guarantee if you're up here, client comes in here, talk, 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 bang. That's the end of the conversation. They'll go away. Do you feel good? No, you're going to feel drained. You think you might do, but they also had the memory that you made them feel good. So guess what? Someone else will come in, brr. Someone else, brr. And then you finally get home to your loved ones and you're empty. So let's change this. Let's focus on it. Because when you focus on happiness, that's going to fill up. When you focus on happiness, then what's the next level down underneath this? Because typically there is a flow. Because most people, when they're happy, will then focus on health. Correct? So what happens is when you're focused on happiness, it starts overflowing. Bang. People are going to take 100% of your overflow. So this is not about being selfish. This is about being self-full, filling yourself up. Change the wording, self-full, filling yourself up, allowing it to overflow. Because when you overflow, what are the clients getting? They're getting a much better version of you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be so much happier and healthier that what happens, these clients come in and you're going to be able to lift them to a higher level because you are feeling better, because you're energized, you've got greater purpose. Health. How many times you go to a gym and there's people there at 180 kilos and they're just kind of standing there and going for a walk? Not many. People like that, they generally don't go to the gym because they're not happy. So this is really good for understanding your energy flow, and it's also good to understand clients' blockages. You can already see where this is going as far as the toilet when we're talking about blockages and shit in people's lives. Got it? Happiness is going to overflow into health. Think about people. They don't go to work on happiness or go to work on their own fitness because they're not happy. So what we're looking at doing is when you get happier, you're more likely to focus on yourself, correct? You're more likely to focus on eating and exercise because it makes you feel good. Because guess what happens? What do you reckon happens when health overflows? Love. Love starts filling up. This is self-love. This is love of others. When love starts filling up, because it will, because you're healthy. When you're happy and you're healthy, you're more likely to give to yourself, invest in yourself, and do more for other people that you love. But think about it. If you're not doing things and fully in love with someone, are you really happy with them? Are you focused on your health? Let's see how this is now starting to flow. As I alluded to before, when you've got happiness and you've got health and you've got love, how do you then work? Great, because that's now going to overflow. There's wealth. There's your wealth bucket. And you can make it as big as you want because you want more work, you want more clients, you want higher dollar value paying clients. Guess what? Work on your happiness. It's going to flow, flow, flow down. Got it? Now, here's the fun bit. Can you all see down here? Justine, can everyone see down there?
Yep.
Excellent. This now looks like a toilet. There's your plumbing, correct? We're on to it. Now, what happens is we're going to draw a big pile of poo right down there. Okay? If water flows down, think about water storage coming into your house. There's the system, there's the bowl, there's the plumbing. What happens at this point of time? Water flows down, correct? If you've got shit blocking it, wherever the shit might be, what's going to happen with the water? It's going to start backing up. If there is a pile of poo down here in wealth, first thing that's going to suffer is love. Okay, this is self-love, this is love of others, this is love of partner, this is love of the work you do. It's going to start influencing what's going on. Okay, and if you don't look good, feel good, and you don't love yourself, guess what? You're probably not going to focus on health. And if you're not focusing on health, it's probably because you're not happy. So what this flow does, because that's exactly what it is, it's flow, correct? If we talk about energy, what is energy? Energy is all flow. If energy is trapped, it has to fill up to allow it to overflow, to overflow, to overflow. And this is where you, as practitioners, you get to set your goals in each one of them. What is happiness for you? How many people know what happiness is? Okay, let's take a moment and work that out. How are we off for time? We're good. Okay.
We're good.
Think about happiness. If everyone could just close your eyes for a moment, please. Thank you. Let's project yourself forward, because how many people end up going backwards, backwards, backwards? Let's go forward. Let's project yourself out 12 months. Project yourself out this time in 12 months' time and go, right, this is happiness. Just think about what does happiness look like. Forget about work. Forget about love. Forget about health. Just go to that place and just go, that's happiness. Project yourself out and put yourself in a situation and go, that's happiness. Notice what it looks like. Is it a family barbecue? Is it sitting near the beach? Is it sitting on rocks? Is it going for a hike somewhere? What is happiness? When you think about happiness, how does that look? And when you feel that true happiness, what does it feel like? Where are you feeling it? Head, chest, stomach, heart? Where are you feeling it? When you've got that, just take a nice big deep breath in, gradually drift back, open up your eyes. So happiness, isn't it amazing that not many people can actually define what happiness is? Most people don't know what happiness is. You know when you've got a headache, correct? You know when you've got a headache. But how do you know you don't have a headache? It's an interesting question, isn't it? How do you know you don't have a headache? Well, it's probably because you're not feeling good. But if you do have a headache, you can do something about it. This is what this process is about as well, is to help you to go, oh, I'm not feeling the best. How do I reset myself? So what I find is, find an image that represents happiness. Okay? So what you just had in your mind, you could do that quite easily, couldn't you? So I'll just show you. Yeah. We'll see how this goes on the screen. Should be okay. That's my image of happiness. So I'll see that okay, and I think it's full screen. So that image of happiness says to me, I can sit there, sunrise, sunset, sitting near the water on a rock, thinking about it and going, right, if I can imagine everything I'm doing in my business right now, am I feeling that way? Yes. Great. I'm happy. I'm on track. So this is now my defining measurement for happiness. It's hard to measure emotions. But when I can sit there and go, right, do I feel that way today? Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life at the moment, but what's holding me together is the work I'm doing with people, being able to step into that, being to hold that space and that happiness. So then when I come back out and I have to deal with all the stuff that's going on, then I can manage it easily because I'm up here. I'm not getting drained by it. I'm filling myself up. So thank you so much for being here today, because it's helping me so much to lift me up, to get more energy to get through the week. So appreciate it. So what we're looking at is when you find that image of happiness, it keeps you on track at any time of the day. How does it feel? Now, for me, I'm sitting there and just going, ah, that's it. If you can switch off and you're starting to feel like, oh, starting to get anxious and nervous and questioning myself, stop, switch off. Imagine yourself in that state. Remove yourself from the state that you're in currently, probably going round and round and round in circles. Step out of that. Have a look at the image on your phone. Step into that memory, into that experience, step into that state, and everything shifts very quickly. So what we're doing here is we understand that energy flows down, but it's also the shit flows up. Think about it. That is where is the toxic stuff flowing back up. Now, if we have a very unfortunate meal or an experience, and all of a sudden the brain goes, boof, explodes, the stomach's going to explode as well. We know that the stomach is the second brain. So if we have a big evacuation into a bowl, I know you probably don't need that image right now, but how are you going to get all that shit out of wherever it is? Even if you've got, okay, how many people work with people who've got issues within love? Unwanted attention, sexual abuse, overweight, whatever it might be. If that's where the shit is, guess what? It's going to flow up. Okay? If people got health issues, a lot of people that have health issues will never actually fix that, because the next thing they have to deal with is love. So you can always work out where people's blockages are based on where it's stopping and how it's flying back up, where it's being noticed within your life, their experiences. Now, just say, for example, wealth is full of shit. How long is it going to take to kind of get it out, spoon it out? Do you want to reach in with your hand and pull it out yourselves? Probably not. You got big button, correct? Okay. So what happens if you've got a bucket full of crap down here and you put a bucket full of fresh, clean happiness up there? It's going to flush it out into that. It's going to flush it out here, flush it out there, and then bang, straight out. This is the toilet theory. It's going to flow down. It's got a natural flow. Trying to take stuff out of there, it's not going to help. The easiest way to do it is to literally just flush everything straight out and let it go. And then just work on filling yourself up. So think about happiness. How often are you going to do something for yourself? How often are you going to do this happiness? Hello, I just saw a Connie in the corner of the screen. Hey, Connie. Oh, which one I'll wave? I'm not sure which side I'm waving to. Right. So what we're doing here is giving you a good understanding of energy flow. Okay? We're all working in this talk therapy space. We're all trying to help people. The thing is, how many people can you help if every client is going to drain you by 50%? If the next one's going to drain you by 50%, then drain you again, you're going to get home and go, oh, I feel awesome. No, you don't. You're going to feel like crap. And then who are you surrounded by? You're surrounded by your loved ones, who are the ones that really want you to be full. Now, I'm asking you, when you are full, what quality of work do you produce? Think about it. What quality of work? How many people doing a 10-hour day out there? Go on, put your hands up. Be open, be honest. How many people are putting... Yep, 10-hour day. Yep. Now, think about the level of effectiveness. Are you at 80%, 20%, 30%, 40%? What level of effectiveness are you for that time? Think about it. If you're only 60% effective, just do 6 hours, but do it at 100%. Switch off. Go hard. I can't hear. People are laughing and saying things. What's going on down there?
You have to come and talk to the computer.
Oh, what's it done?
Over here. You have to come over
Can
here.
you hear me?
You got to come over here.
I know. Oh, Fabian, big man.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
You said how many hours? Yeah, 10 hours, but I am in love with my job, man. It gives me energy, but especially happiness. So the work that I do gives me so much fulfillment and happiness. And obviously, I also pour in my own cup because that's also my job. So I thought I'd just share that. I missed it, the 10 hours. I did not hear that.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're doing 100% effectiveness for 10 hours, that's great. But not many people do. You'd be lucky. Most people are lucky to be 60 to 65% effectiveness. What they're doing is thanks, Fabian. What a lot of people do in the corporate. Here we go.
They work a lot of hours,
Yeah.
and probably not for fulfillment or deep fulfillment. So they trade their life, they trade time for money.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. If it's like a mobile phone, people go to work in the morning and they go, right, I've got to be here for 8 hours or 10 hours because that's what I'm getting paid for. Rather than going, hang on, I can do my job in 6 hours. I can do 100% effectiveness for 6 hours, switch off and go. Because what happens when you are working at 100%, you would know the quality of stuff you put out, presentation-wise, proposal-wise, the work you do with clients. You're going to be at 100%. But if someone's only at 80%, you're going to notice that within a presentation. You're going to notice that within a client session. You're going to notice it with an email, a proposal, or something you send out, with a quality of meeting that you have.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also when you start, you notice as well, because I'm a starter, right? So I work so much because it is my passion. It's a burning desire. I get up in the morning, mate. Like, I don't have to set an alarm clock. It is literally it's my life, you know? So I feel if you don't have that, it means you're not in the right job. If you don't feel that excitement, if you don't feel that, and I did not have that always when I was working in carpentry. I hated it. Like, I was dreaded and I did not have the happiness. So my relationships were shit. My love was shit. So once I found this deep purpose, I can operate this with this energy. Of course, I have to pour. I have to do my practice. I have to do my breath work. I have to do my cold therapy and all that stuff. Fitness, exactly. I have to do all of those. And then now I'm looking for ways to outsource things. Hey, you are good at administration. You do this. Hey, So this is how it actually.
Yeah, because I'll show you, and you'll be a perfect awareness of this, is most people, this is what most people are like in lives.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
I'll work so that then I can find love, then I can focus on my health so I can be happy. How many people are inverted? Okay? Understand Fabian, yeah, he does a huge amount of work. He's everywhere. Social medias, presentations, a whole lot, because of understanding if you're not happy doing it, it's not going to flow down. You want greater wealth, it's got to come from greater happiness. Because when you're happy doing what you love doing, then you're more likely to focus on health. Anyone who's done my training for the Athlete Secret Weapon Approved Practitioner training, anyone who's done that training understands I treat myself as my number one client. I invest 90 minutes a day going through, not going through my toilet, you know what I mean? Going through my target process, my diary process, focusing on my own recording, focusing on my exercise, going for a walk, walking the dog. I've got my routine. That's 90 minutes a day. How many of you spend 30 minutes a day on yourself?
You're spot on. Every time, you're 100% spot on. If I would have struggles in my relationship, it would affect my job. It would affect my food. It would affect my gym. Every time when I stop because if I work too much, I give up the gym. My results in work starting to. Every time, so I know for a fact, non-negotiable. That's me time. I go to the gym. I do my cold shower. I do my breath.
And this is the confirmation of it. Okay. If love isn't helping, guess what? You're less likely to focus on health, therefore happiness, because it's got to come down this way. This is what we're saying, is to focus on you, to fill you up so it flows. You can have any amount of wealth, but it's got to come from the top. Okay? if you invert it like a lot of people are, guess what? The shit is just going to flow down through every aspect of life. You're more likely to have a better quality result by better quality hours. Now, I'll give you an understanding of this. I've got a corporate, a CEO client that I work with. He's head of a $400 million a year business. CEO of a $400 million a year business. I work with him. He's come through one of my motor racing clients. He actually races the Porsche Carrera Cup. He's going into BMW GT4 this year. So, $400 million business. He was doing 80 plus hours a week. He was on 16 association and boards. Think about that. He's got 80 staff in a central office. He's got 2,500 staff around the country, or Australia, New Zealand, and some Asia. Now, he was taking 2 weeks off every year. By flowing through this, because what was he doing? He was focused on wealth. To send the wealth back to the family, to buy love, so that he actually then could focus on his health to find happiness. We spun the whole thing around. In the last 2 years, he's gone 18% growth in the business. Do some calculations. Okay, 10% is 40. Okay. He's close to an $80 million, well, it's about $75 million growth on the previous year. And he's now doing, I'll show you. Oh, hang on, I'll get another bit of paper. Hang on. If anyone's looking for it, I forget the name of it, whiteboard in a roll or whiteboard to go. Whoever working with that, awesome. And you know where the edges are. We've done it before. We start drawing off the edges and on the wall. Probably not the best. Okay, so he's now gone from 80 hours to 35. Okay, he's now, instead of 16 people on the board, he's only on the board of 3. He's getting back into his motor racing, which he hadn't done for 2 years. Okay, and he's now taking, instead of 2 weeks off a year, he's taking 12 weeks off now. He's employed more staff to do the stuff that he doesn't want to do, and that's where he's had, it's called an $80 million revenue benefit because of understanding that flow. Any questions there at the moment? Anyone? Justine, please feel free to share.
If you've got questions, come up here to the computer and I'll make it so that he can see you. I'll say one quick thing about Stuart. When I started on day 1 of his training for sports hypnosis, when he started pulling this out and he went to the love section, he saw me turn into a brat saying, oh, for fuck's sake, I came here for sports. And I had to talk about love. And then he explained it and I thought this is brilliant. But I tell you what, I did pull up a bit of a stink, hey, Stuart, because I was thinking just sports. But yeah, he explained the importance for sports people. Without this, they can't win.
Can't win. Because if they're aiming to win, to then influence their happiness and their health, because let's face it, athletes probably aren't the healthiest bunch of people out there. Oh, hello.
Hello, Stuart. How's it going?
Good. Hi.
Just a quick question. How's this different from a values hierarchy?
Oh, I made this one.
Yeah. But is it virtually the same?
It's basically the same, but it just works on more the flow and understanding where the blockages are within the flow. The hierarchy is good because we're always constantly striving towards, but it's also, what are we striving towards? Okay, for me, it's easier to kind of work through a flow being energy than it is trying to force something uphill.
Absolutely. Gravity.
If you look at, say, for example, I do a lot of stuff with like rubber bands. Imagine if you had a big bungee cord tied around your waist and that was your past. Okay. And you kind of go, you got all this stress and pressure trying to hold you back. What happens is because you're focused on that and you're trying to get to the next level, what I do is kind of spin the whole paradigm around and go, right, imagine, let's go to the ultimate version of you. Let's connect the bungee cord over here. Work all the way back this way. So what happens, any decision, any action now is actually going to be dragging you towards it. Okay. What I find is the energy and the flow will actually take you towards that. So instead of the pyramid and working towards it, I kind of go more fill up the top and let it flow down. Okay. It's same information, same advice, same outcomes, but I just put it a different way. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
All good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Keep going.
How much time we got, Justine? Because I'll keep going for hours. You know me.
You've got probably about 13, let me have a look, 13 minutes.
Okay, cool. Okay. When we start doing goals and breaking down, okay, this for every one of you, because how many times do you question yourself? Are you on the right path? What about goals, goal setting? Like every peak performer I work with, they've got one thing in common, that's goals. I'm not sure because you look at a lot of people that might specialize in, say, for example, trauma or weight loss or smoking. They've got a certain solution they want. They want to stop doing something. My clients don't want to stop doing anything. They want to go and start doing this and achieving. So that's where a lot of the work that I do with this information is all about goal setting, setting big goals. Because we're not designed to be average. There's some incredible people out there, and you're there. There's some incredible people out there fighting to be average. So you don't stand out, so you don't get noticed, so you don't get seen. This comes back to that, the knowledge is power. Most people are happy in the darkness because they can hide. It's when the light comes on, it's like, oh shit, now I've got to do something. I'm being seen, I'm being noticed, I'm being judged. And you will be if you stay in that average space. When you stay up at that elite level, you're going to get judged anyway. People are going to judge you with what you wear. People are going to judge you with who you are, how you are. They're going to judge you with how you've done your hair today. They're going to judge you with what you're wearing. They're going to judge you on your figure. They're going to judge you on your job. They judge you on the house. They judge you on the car. So you may as well get judged on the person you want to be, correct? So have fun creating it. Now, what I will do and share with you, you like this advertising? Ever turn my back? You're welcome. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is show you. This is a corporate client that phoned me up and said, hey, Stu, can you come and work with our team? We've got 15 people and they're all over the place. Come and motivate them. I went, I'm not your guy. Because what happens if you've got a group of people and they're going 15 directions and you motivate them, what's going to happen? They go 15 directions faster. Make sense? If you've got someone who's an overeater and you motivate them, what are they going to do? Eat faster. If you get an idiot and you motivate them, what have you got? Motivated idiot. Right. So what I said, I was driving over there and got, there's got to be a way that I can help this corporate team understand goal setting. And this is incredibly powerful because I put it down into, hey Trish, I put it down into a chart that basically shows people, because I've done a lot of management training over the years. I remember years ago, it's got to be 20 years ago now, I was a national product manager for a company, and the Queensland sales manager and I were having a conversation. It was first day back after Christmas holiday. He's out there with his coffee and his smoke. Great start to the year. He goes, what are you up to for the year? I went, okay. Said, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be number one product group. I'm going to sell X amount of things. I'm going to work towards this. This is my goal. I said, what are you up to? And he goes, finish my cigarette, take my coffee upstairs, turn the computer on and put out fires. Okay. He was in that business, he was in that position for 15 years. And here we are 20 years later, and he's still doing exactly the same job. There was no goals, no momentum, no nothing. His intention was, I'm just going to go and put out fires. There was no drive, there was no intention, there was no supporting the salespeople. He said, what are you going to do? I said, number one product group, and we're doing this, 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 this. He was the person that was saying, oh, I've done 80 hours this week. And I've gone, I've done 25, catch ya. Effective, efficient, focus, working towards a goal. Now, goals are pretty good. Fortunately, my clients generally aren't average. My clients they want state, national titles, world titles. Okay, my clients, what have I got? 48 world and Olympic champions. I know what it takes for these kids to be the best that they can be. I know what it takes because the higher you go up, the more it is about the mental side, not the physical, not the technical, not the tactical. If you listen to any interviews at the Olympics, none of them said, how did you sleep that night? What's been your training like? Or what did you eat the night before? They're all talking about what was your mindset going into this. It's starting to be recognized as the difference. So every one of these athletes, they don't have average goals. A lot of people do. So I'll show you. Boom, boom, boom. This is the chart I drew up. Can everyone see it? Like a 10 out of 10 goal, 5 out of 10, 0, 5 years, 10 years. What happens is a lot of people have average goals over a long period of time. Correct? Hardly noticeable. Quick one. Someone said to me once, I want to lose weight. I said, great, go to the toilet. They would have lost weight, correct? No worries, I'll send you an invoice. Job done. And they said, no, I want to lose more. How much? 15, 20, 30. Right? Which one? The brain needs something to focus on. If you're saying 10 or 20, you've got a totally different level of action required or time required to do it. So when I was talking to this corporate team, I went, right, I'm going to show you what average people do. So average people, I'm just going to draw this if I can. Okay, so what we've got here is showing you to achieve an average goal. Okay, so a 10 out of 10 goal might be like a 3-story beach house. An average goal might be a 3-bedroom suburban house. 5 years, 10 years. Most people have got average goals over 10 years, correct? And success is going to be different for everyone. So what this shows is this is probably the amount of energy required over that amount of time to achieve that goal. Got it? Good. This is what I say to people, right, like, let's go big. Who's got some big goals they want to achieve? Now you're going to apply the knowledge you've got from the last 2 days of conferencing. You're welcome. What goals are you going to achieve in your business, in your life? Let's go big, hey? This is a profession that needs to be out there. Okay, the results are incredible. So we're going to double the goals. Who'd enjoy that? Double the goals. 2 houses, 2 lives, 2 wives, 2 husbands. Okay, 2 overseas holidays a year. Okay, 6 weeks off instead of 3. Who would like that level of success? The only thing stopping you is your imagination. So, big goals, but let's do it in half the time. Who'd be happy with big goals in half the time? See, what most people have probably gone is, oh, double the goals in half the time. It's going to be 4 times as much energy and focus and concentration. Correct? Ta-da, wrong. Now, what's the difference in those triangles in the area? Greater action, greater activity for a short amount of time. It's exactly the same commitment. Double the goals in half the time. Now, all of a sudden, you'll start looking at your goals, your 10-year goals, and go, right, let's do it in 5 years. If you want to pull in 100,000 a year, let's make it 200. The only thing that's stopping you, number one, setting big goals, And number two, taking action. Because this is a great thing. This is where average players operate. How many average practitioners are there in the profession? A lot of them. Okay, there's a whole concept of being average. But what happens when you're up here? You can have 3 to 5 times what you're earning down here, because that's where your market is. When you focus on yourself, it doesn't take any more effort other than reducing the time and increasing what you want to achieve. Now, what I find is the bigger the goals, the greater the action. The shorter the time, the greater the opportunities. So big goals, short time, big opportunities. And the big opportunities are the ones that actually present themselves with fairly significant revenue benefits. Instead of doing $100 a session, you can do $300 to $500 a session. It's only a slight jump from here to here, but it's all up here in the mind. This is what we do as practitioners. What do we help people do? Change the way they think, change the way they believe, behave, communicate, change what they're holding on to. Are they holding on to the past? Great. If you can hold on to the past with such strength, imagine you can hold on to the future with the same amount of power. Double the goals, half the amount of time. But then I hear you say, yeah, but what if you only get a 9 out of 10? What if you only get a 9 out of 10? Well, with that attitude, guess what? You're probably not going to do that anyway. You might end up with a 4 out of 5. Ask yourself the question, you want a 9 or a 4? Okay? No one ever stood on the gold medal of the Olympics and just goes, yeah, I'm going to the Olympics because I want a bronze. I want a bronze medal. They go there for what reason? They go there for the gold. The backup plan is silver. The backup plan is bronze. They're aiming at the top because there's less likely to be opposition. This is the great thing about it. Find your niche, increase the price, work when you're at 100%. If you're not feeling 100%, take the day off. Go and sit down, watch a movie, have a cocktail. Works for Deb.
You mean the cocktail?
Yeah.
That's why she's got 10 kids.
10 kids. She's got 15 kids.
15 kids in a minibus. I've seen it with her big hypnosis on the side of it.
I wonder what her husband thinks about these 15 kids that he doesn't know about. She has big goals.
Right. So this is the great thing about it is when you're up here, no one's thinking that they're capable of doing, because average thinkers think the same way. You find your niche market, double your price, all of a sudden people think you must be twice as good. You only need to be 2% better, 5% better. It's not a huge jump. And because people are going, oh, you're a specialist, great. They're willing to pay the prices. Okay, a lot of my family are going through operations at the moment. Mum's, oh God, is it today? Yeah. Today? No, yesterday, got cataracts done. Because I went and she got a skin cancer, BCC, cut out of her chin 2 weeks ago. It went all septic. It had to be fixed. Now she's gone in for that operation. And I said, I hope you've got a good doctor to do this. You've got to be fairly sure that they know what they're doing if you're doing cataracts and cutting eyes. I said, you don't want the work experience kit. And she said, I think I had that when I had the BCC cut out. Think about that. Who do you want operating in your brain? Who's the best version? Okay. Do you want average people? Or do you want these people? So increase that. You can increase that. You can increase opportunities. Opportunities will present themselves. Everyone's going to be a winner. So now, how much time have I got just there?
2 minutes.
Who? 2? 10?
2.
2 hours.
5.
Great.
5 minutes. Well, up at 5 minutes.
5. Okay. What do you reckon? I'll go through the diary process. You happy with that?
Yep, that's awesome.
Okay. Every one of you, like we're talking about, everything that we do is all about action. It's all about knowledge. Okay. The last time I looked, there was something like 1.2 million self-development, self-improvement books on Amazon. Every one of them is telling you what you need to do. Breakthrough, push, grind, hustle, get a second side hustle, just do this, do this, do this, do this. That is the quickest way. If you look at this flow, everything we're just saying there, that's the quickest way to the grave, isn't it? Push, grind, hustle, get a second side hustle, push, push, push down here, because you're going to lose your partner, you're going to lose the love of your life, you're going to lose your health, lose your happiness because you just want something down here. That's probably not beneficial. So what we've got to look at is you've got the knowledge. No one on Amazon is sharing this knowledge with you. How to change. Give us a process. You're all practitioners, you know this, and anyone who's been to any of my presentations, whether it's Trisha's Australian Hypnosis Conference in Melbourne, we'll see you again this year. I'll be there. Okay.
You will.
17th of March 2010. A professional golfer from Adelaide flew up to see me up here in sunny Queensland, which is actually raining today. And within 10 minutes of his session, he said, I write in my diary every night. I went, yeah? What do you write? He goes, yesterday I had a bad golf game, could have done that, didn't do this, didn't do that. And I went, that's really good. But what you're doing is when you go to sleep, your brain goes back in the past to process information. We know that. But he's going back and digging up all this negative crap. What is he processing for 8 hours while he's sleeping? Bad golf game, should have done this, didn't do that, self-abuse, abusing himself, not trusting or believing himself and going, I should, but not changing anything. I said, okay, that night, instead of writing that, how about tonight you write in your diary what you did in advance tomorrow? Think about it. Write tonight like it's already happened. Visualizing it, projecting your success out. Had a beautiful deep night's sleep, woke up, went to this incredible conference in New Zealand, had a lovely coffee, sat down in the room, a lot of opportunities, a lot of learning. Then this great guy from Brisbane came along and gave me this tool, this resource that I could use on a daily basis to change the way I think, believe, behave and communicate in a way that's going to lift you towards wherever goals you have. So think about this. Before you go to sleep tonight, you're going to write how your day was tomorrow. This is not just wishing and hoping. This is the intention. This is what I did tomorrow. This is how I felt. This is what I noticed. This is what I did. This is what I achieved. When you've got that and you put all your intention in using past tense words, I did, I noticed, I got, I achieved. Those past tense words, then when you go to sleep on that, that's what's processing the deep part of our brain. For 8 hours overnight. Then we wake up in the morning, we reread this diary entry, commit it to conscious and the unconscious mind, and then the day just kind of evolves towards it. Awesome. You're welcome. Now, I had a very good friend of mine who said, that's a great idea. Can you put that up in an article and I'll put it up on my website? I went, sure. It went a bit ballistic and people started asking questions. How do I write it? Give me some examples. What about the wording? When do I do this? How do I do this? So then I started expanding from a 1 to a 3 to a 15 to a 30-page booklet. And then one day, one of my clients said, hey, that'd be an awesome book. Because what it actually is, you've got the knowledge, the abilities, the skills, the experience. This is the application of that, correct? So you have the tools and resources in your hand to create exactly what you want tomorrow. And there I was, wrote in my diary that night, today, went to work, thought that was a really good idea, sent out an email, 40 minutes later, got a phone call from a publisher. That's fairly specific, isn't it? Guess what? 35 minutes later, there was one sitting in my office. 1 month later, published book. Okay, the Dear Diary process. And every one of you is going to get the ebook version of that as a thank you gift for being there. Look, that's me when I still had dark hair, not blonde.
So that'll be on the website. So when you log in, you guys will have the Dear Diary book. That's awesome.
So grab a day to a page diary and just start creating. If you know you got this meeting, what's the outcome? What's the intention? How did you feel? How did you present? You might have a tricky client. How are you going to present that client? How did you break through? Okay, it is very easy. You can change the way you react, respond and behave. If you've got a client or if you've got someone you work with that's a little bit annoying, okay, in the past I used to treat them and I used to allow them to annoy me. Remembering that you're the one choosing to be annoyed, you can choose to just accept, understand, tolerate, bang, this is what I did today. So you can reflect back. In the past I used to, today I did, bang, and that's now going to lock in as a normal reaction and response moving forward. So I will send that off to you. You can all have a copy of that. And I guess that's probably it. If anyone is interested in, I guess, 18 years experience of working with these athletes, the Athlete's Secret Weapon approved practitioners, I'm now using the processes I've created over the years, including toilet theory, work-life balance, setting the goals, peak performance state. If you're interested in that, we've got a 12-month, four full days of training online, and then 12 months of mentoring, 2 hours a week. If you're interested in that and you really want to niche in on the peak performance, whether it be athletes or business or arts, culture, science, any performers, happy to have a chat with you. But because you're all there, have a chat with Deb, have a chat with Justine. They've both been through the training and still going through the training, and they're having incredible results in their own business, in their own lives because of that. Okay, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Justine. Thank you. And everyone else, Connie, you too. And Trish, thank you, everybody. Have an awesome time. Have a drink for me tonight.
See you later. Thank you.
See ya. Bye-bye.